Yeah, let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan, my man Pots and Pan, what's the deal? You kicking it with KCMC, talking about sports. Starting off with the NBA free agency. Pretty much running through the first couple of days of that before the holiday, 4th of July holiday season. A lot of things happened. Let's get to the basics of it, the main stuff. Wednesday, July 7th, Deandre Ayton, free agent center. Deandre Ayton reportedly has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers per multiple reports. Also, veteran guard Spencer Dinwiddie has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Hornets, coming from the Nets if I'm not mistaken. On July 1st, the Bucks are reported, they waived all-star guard Damian Lillard to clear salary cap room to acquire free agent center Myles Turner from the Indiana Pacers. Also on that day, Milwaukee land one of the top free agents of 2025 by reportedly signing a 4-year, $107 million deal with Myles Turner, as we just talked about as well. Duncan Robinson agreed to a 3-year, $48 million deal with the Detroit Pistons, my Detroit Pistons, as part of a sign and trade deal that brings Simon Fontecchio to Miami. Almost seems fitting. And then also, Denver continues to be active in free agency, adding sharpshooter Tim Hardaway Jr. on a 1-year deal coming from my Detroit Pistons as well. I had to put that out there. Also on my Detroit Pistons news, veteran guard Dennis Schröder has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million deal with the Kings. Another veteran presence that we lost on the Pistons as well. Then Ford center Larry Nance Jr. agreed to a deal to return to Cleveland, where he previously played 4 seasons. Confirmed by the team on July 6th, by the way. That's today, Sunday, July 6th. So those are some of the big moves that came through free agency over the last couple of days, or the first few days, I should say, of free agency leading up until the holiday season. Now, a few other things has happened, and it ain't a lot to really be talking about too much. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he agreed to a 4-year extension, $285 million extension with OKC. Okay, good deal there. Let me see. Anything else worth talking about? For real. Veteran sharpshooter Eric Gordon re-signed with Philadelphia 76ers as well. Let me see. Anything else? NBA's all-time leading scorer will be staying put in Los Angeles as LeBron James plans to exercise his player option for 2025-2026 as well. Former Kia MVP winner James Harden opts out of his deal for 2025-2026 but signs a new contract worth $81.5 million to stay with the Los Angeles Clippers. Grizzlies All-Star center Jaren Jackson Jr. expected to sign a 5-year, $240 million deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. We already talked about Deandre Ayton. Timberwolves are keeping the front court in order after agreeing to a 3-year, $100 million deal with All-Star big man Julius Randle. Michael Porter Jr., they agreed to trade. Denver Nuggets agreed to trade forward Michael Porter Jr. and an unprotected 2032 first-round draft pick to Brooklyn Nets in exchange for forward Cam Johnson. Denver breaking up their championship core right there. As you can see, Dorian Finney-Smith headed to Houston on a 4-year, $53 million contract. Clint Capella also returning to the Houston Rockets, where he was drafted in 2014 and spent his first 6 seasons. Luke Kennard agreed to a one-year, $11 million deal with the Hawks as well. Luke Kennard played for the Pistons a few years back. Veteran guard D'Angelo Russell is joining the Dallas Mavericks on a 2-year, $13 million deal. Jordan Clarkson, former 6th Man of the Year, finalizing a buyout with the Jazz to sign with the Knicks as well. Gary Trent Jr. remained with Milwaukee on a 2-year deal. Taurean Prince staying with the Milwaukee Bucks on a 2-year deal. Bruce Brown headed back to Denver. Brook Lopez signed with the LA Clippers. And a couple other things going on. Ty Jerome signing with the Grizzlies. I believe he's coming from the Cavaliers. Karis LeVert agreed to a 2-year deal with Detroit Pistons. Gary Porter Jr. Headed back to Milwaukee. Detroit agreed to a 2-year deal with Paul Reed, big man. Okay. Bobby Portis Jr. declined his player option for 25-26. Instead, agreed to a 3-year, $44 million deal to stay put with Milwaukee as well. Jalen Williams signed his extension with OKC and a couple other things going on, but we not about to run through everything. So we just want to run through the general basics of the NBA free agency so far with the teams. I'll say some of the biggest ones was the Dame Lillard wave. Now, it seemed big on the outside pause, but we all knew Dame Lillard wanted to go to Miami. He just didn't make it there. So he tried it 2 years with Milwaukee or whatever the case may be. They got to let him go. It's not going to work. So now they signed Myles Turner. Milwaukee did. And giving Dame Lillard the option to go wherever he wants and still get his money. Who cares? I think Dame Lillard wins with that one. Deandre Ayton was a big one. And a couple other ones. But I want you to go off and name the biggest trades or off-season signings so far in the 2025-2026 off-season. I should say. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. I got the phone. Yeah, we got the phone lines. Go ahead and call into the show if you want to. We're going to go ahead and do that. Pause. I got another topic. Oh, yeah. Let me close that. Okay. You got another topic we're going to flow through real quick as well since we got time. My boy Chris Paul. They said, man, Chris Paul turned 40 in May, but he has more than held his own this past season with the San Antonio Spurs. In fact, the decorated point guard was just one of 3 players on the team to take the court for all 82 regular season games, and he started all of them as well. Shout out to Chris Paul for that. Got to put some respect on my dog's name for that. Chris Paul chipped in 8.8 points, 7.4 assists per game while shooting 42.7% from the field and 37.7% from the 3. That's actually pretty efficient if you ask me. 12-time All-Star, could keep playing into his 40s if he chose to. He was asked recently about his retirement timeline in a recent interview with Jamel Hill at the American Black Film Festival in Miami. He said, quote, I think it's fair to say that they asked him. I think it's fair to say that even though you are playing at a high level, you're in the twilight of your NBA career, Jamel Hill says. She continued by saying, quote, so how much longer do you intend to play, end quote. Chris Paul responded by saying, at the most, a year. I just finished my 20th season, which is a blessing in itself. I've been in the NBA for more than half of my life, which is a blessing. But these years, you do not get back with your kids, with your family, end quote. Chris Paul said that with a slight chuckle. Chris Paul pretty much letting us know this upcoming year could be his farewell tour or it could be the season after that. So, very decorated. As of right now, it looks like he will not be leaving with a ring. So, with that being said, what type of flowers do we give Chris Paul? What does he deserve? Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? Where should, if he should, get his jersey retired? And also, I think those are the main questions, actually. Hall of Fame and where do you get your jersey retired at the end of the day? You're not going to get a ring. That's pretty much said straightforward. It is what it is as far as the ring. I think players like Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, certain other players, they maybe even Russell Westbrook might have to come to the conclusion like I'm probably not gonna get a ring, or I ain't get no ring in my career. I'm just gonna take the single accolades that I got and stand on those and be happy, and just be happy with the fact that I made it to the NBA and played all these years. I'm not mad at that. Respectfully, I gotta be honest. Where should he get his jersey retired, if at all? I would have to go with the Clippers. Some might say the Pelicans or the Hornets, whatever you want to call it. I got to give it to the Clippers. He made a splash there. It was Lob City. He was going crazy. Now, it don't make sense because he didn't spend a lot of time there. That's what I hate. You didn't spend a lot of time, but he had an impact there. But we can't just keep retiring people's jerseys and retiring these numbers so that nobody can use them. We're going to run out of numbers. Respectfully, I don't think Chris Paul should get his jersey retired. I'm saying if anywhere, maybe the Clippers, but I don't think he should. Give him the Hall of Fame. Give him his single accolades and decorations. Other than that, Chris Paul, respectfully, no jersey retirement for you. Just Hall of Fame and call it a day. Call it a career, I will say. It's sad to see, but I think we're going to get Chris Paul retiring in the next year or two. Then we're going to get Steph. Then we're going to get KD. And we're going to get and we might get LeBron, Steph, and or KD all simultaneously. We might get them all in one. We might get at least 2 of those in the same year. We might get 2 of those retirements in the same year within the next 3 to 4 years, if you ask me. Actually, it might be the next 2 to 3. Steph might be in another 2, KD in another 3, maybe 4, and LeBron within another 2 or 3. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. What do you think about Chris Paul? Where should his jersey get retired? Does he deserve to get his jersey retired? 313-466-4386. Keeping it moving, talking about the next topic. Your boy Cooper Flag right here, dog. Cooper Flag's Summer League debut will come against another high-profile young player. ESPN announced that Flag's debut for the Mavericks will take place this upcoming week, July 10th. And he will take on Los Angeles Lakers squad that features Bronny James. Bronny James was second-round pick by the Lakers in 2024 and spent the majority of his 2024-2025 season with the South Bay Lakers of the G League. Flag was the top pick of the 2025 NBA draft. Bronny James appeared in 27 games for the Lakers in 24-25, making 1 start. I didn't even know that. He averaged 2.3 points, 0.8 assists, 0.7 rebounds, while playing 6.7 minutes per game. He and his father, LeBron James, formed the first father-son duo in NBA history. In the G League, Bronny James averaged 21.9 points, 5.4 assists, and 5.2 rebounds in 11 games. Flag comes to the Mavericks after a sensational year at Duke, where he was named the AP Player of the Year and led the Blue Devils to a Final Four appearance. He averaged 19.2 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 4.2 assists in 37 games for Duke, and will look to translate into an impact player for the Dallas Mavericks. The highly anticipated game for the tip-off will tip off 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time at July 10th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Why is there so much hype between the #1 draft pick in 2025 and the 55th draft pick in 2024? Was it just last season? 2023, 2024? What difference do it make? At the end of the day, a 55th draft pick being hyped up with a #1 draft pick. It's kind of crazy. Now, I ain't gonna lie. They selling it. They selling this Summer League. The Summer League has been going on so far. I watched a little bit of it. VJ Edgecombe been going crazy, or he went crazy. A couple other players. Ace Bailey did pretty nice in Utah. A couple other players been doing decent, but we want to see Cooper Flag. And for him to line up with Bronny James, it's going to be nice. So, we're looking forward to that. We might do a live stream. We might do a live broadcast on that day. We're going to see what I got going on, what day that is. Hopefully that's not a Thursday. It's going to be a long day that day. But pause. Cooper Flag, man. What are our expectations for him in the Summer League? This is the Summer League. This ain't even preseason. This ain't even regular season. This ain't even playoffs or postseason. This is the NBA Summer League. Nonetheless, I think we all expected him to go off. We expected his game to translate as it went from the Olympics when he played with actual NBA players, some of the best, and then even in college, and now the Summer League. We expecting his game to translate. So Cooper Flag, a lot of expectations, but I think we all looking forward to it, man. Him against Bronny James, that is the hype. That is the hype. Can Bronny James actually show up? I don't want to see him sitting out for no... at this point, ain't no point in sitting out. This is the game that they selling. So, Bronny James versus Cooper Flag. Who do you expect to have the better game individually between Cooper Flag and Bronny James? Even though Bronny James is a 55th pick, he technically has more NBA experience than Cooper Flag at this point. Averages a decent amount in the G League. What do you think Bronny James is going to do against Cooper Flag? Cooper Flag, decent player in collegiate level, but he ain't played against the pros yet. Even though this ain't a regular season, still the NBA. Let me know what you think. Cooper Flag versus Bronny James in the Summer League. Who you got? 313-466-4386. Go ahead and go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show like we just asked you to. Now, look. Now, we still got a team out here that's looking to, hold on, man. Now, we still got a team. There we go. Look. Now we got the stuff going. There we go. Okay, now we make this transfer. Mike Brown. Mike Brown looks to be the top candidate for the head coach for the New York Knicks. This comes from ESPN.com. He'll have a second meeting with the New York Knicks for their head coaching job as emerges a strong candidate. Mike Brown, 55 years old, was unanimous choice for NBA Coach of the Year in his first season with the Sacramento Kings in 2022-2023, when he helped the team end the longest playoff drought in NBA history at 16 seasons. Brown had a 107-88 record in 2+ years in Sacramento with a winning mark in both of his full seasons before being fired in December 2024, less than halfway through his third season. He previously had 2 stints as coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers and spent 1+ season as the Los Angeles Lakers coach. He has a 455 win, 304 loss record career-wise and has made the playoffs in 7 of his 9 full seasons. He won Coach of the Year twice, also getting the award in Cleveland in 08-09 when he coached LeBron James, by the way. Brown interviewed for the Knicks job in 2020, by the way, and made a strong impression before Knicks hired Tom Thibodeau. Now Brown is vying to replace Thibodeau, who was fired after he led the team to his first Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. Mike Brown, top candidate right now. A lot of people were wondering, why did the Knicks fire Tom Thibodeau if they didn't already have a head coach lined up? They said already they had a few coaches that denied the job. I don't know how true it was, but Don Staley. They asked Jason Kidd from the Dallas Mavericks. That's another coach, I believe, from the Timberwolves or something like that. Maybe a assistant coach or something. But it's crazy how y'all invited all these coaches coming to the #1 market to coach, but nobody wanted the job. So now you got to take a coach that you denied this position before, and now you got to give him strong consideration. If I was Mike Brown, I'm going to ask for the bag. Fam, at this point, you need me. You desperate. You desperate. You circling the block for somebody you denied 5 years ago. Now you fire somebody and I think that's dumb on their part. So you're expecting Mike Brown to have better expectations than Tom Thibodeau? You're expecting him to take you further? Not to say that Mike Brown can't, but that's what the Knicks are basically saying if they hire him. After you deny him the job before. So what did you see? I don't know. This looks so backwards on the New York Knicks part, if you ask me personally. But they, like I said, they also look desperate. So Mike Brown, even though I'm going to advocate for a black coach, black head coach, everybody knows being the head coach of the New York Knicks, it's a lot. It's heavy on your shoulders, Paul. So it's a lot to juggle, and if you fail, it's gonna be a lot of criticism on your head. Tom Thibodeau getting to the Eastern Conference Finals at 25 years, they praised that man. Now you got to get there at the least and further as coach going from this point in the #1 market. So I just wanted to say that, Mike Brown, hey, if you get the job, congratulations. If you don't, you might have dodged the bullet again, fam. Don't even worry about it. But if you're going to get the job, I would ask for the bag, fam. The bag. Mike Brown, head coach of the New York Knicks. Does it make sense to you? I don't think the Sacramento Kings should have let him go. I'm still wondering what happened there. Took them to their first playoff in 16 seasons. Got coach of the year. And that was your second time getting coach of the year. So it seems like Mike Brown is a proven head coach. What's the deal as to why he's not keeping the job? Give them this job. I'm with that or whatever. But, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because we got to talk about being in a position or accepting a position where you think you could be getting set up for failure. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But let me know what you think about Mike Brown being hired for the head coach of the New York Knicks. Does it make sense? Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show 313-466-4386. Speaking of that topic I was just talking about in regards to knowing whether or not you are taking on a position where you feel like you're in a position to fail. This is coming from Associated Press, APnews.com. Lawyers for former Phoenix Mercury interim head coach Nikki Blue have filed a lawsuit against the organization alleging unequal treatment based on race and gender, unequal pay based on race, and that her employment was terminated in retaliation for complaints about unequal treatment. The suit was filed on Thursday in U.S. District Court in Arizona. Nikki Blue, who is black, behind me, was hired in 2022 as an assistant coach and was named the team's interim coach in June of 2023 after Vanessa Nygaard was fired mid-season. Blue had a 7-21 record in the interim role. Nikki Blue was not retained after the season. The Mercury hired Orlando Magic assistant Nate Tibbetts, who is white. The suit claims that Nikki Blue was paid $250,000 in her interim role, which was less than the $375,000 that Nygaard, who is white, was making. Tibbetts is reportedly making more than $1 million per season. Nikki Blue, also claims that the Mercury organization set her up to fail, making roster decisions in 2023 that made the team non-competitive. Nikki Blue also claims that the Mercury organization set her up to fail, already said that. Yeah. So listen, Nikki Blue, African-American coach, black coach right here. She was hired as interim coach. Initially hired as an assistant coach for the Mercury, but then moved on to interim coach as the head coach was fired. So she was complaining that she was paid less. Let me tell you something. You're interim coach. It kind of makes sense for you to get paid less than the actual coach who was probably there with actual experience. Now, I ain't look up Nygaard or nothing like that. The coach Nygaard, Vanessa Nygaard. I ain't look her up. But I would assume she was head coach for at least more than one season. You were 7-21 as interim coach. It's going to be hard to go to your job asking for a raise with that type of performance. I'm saying all that to say, I don't want to say that her claim is invalid. I'm not saying that it's not just or anything like that. But sometimes we got to look around the circumstances and be like, this ain't necessarily about race or sex or nothing like that. It's the situation. I don't know everything as far as the internal communications and what she really dealt with and all that, the actual treatment. I don't know. But based on the story and the facts that I just presented, this don't sound like no unequal pay or unequal rights based on gender or race. You are in the WNBA. You think the WNBA is discriminating against you as a woman? Now, let's get it right. They did just hire an assistant coach from the Orlando Magic who is a male. And they're saying they're reportedly paying him about $1 million after they were paying the other coach $375,000, and they was paying her $250,000, $250,000 as interim head coach. So I can understand, okay, that looks a little bit crazy. First of all, you hire these 2 white people and you get them more than me, but you get a man like 4 times as much as me. That's a little bit crazy. That I could understand. But also, he's coming from the NBA, which is a completely different level. But I don't want to justify that. I'm not using that as an excuse. That's the only thing. Maybe they can use that as an excuse. I don't like that as an excuse. But I'm saying something that they could possibly bring up. Nonetheless, that's probably the only case you got. But you were hired as an assistant coach and then interim coach. You're not going to get paid as much as the coach that was actually a head coach. You got to become an actual head coach and then ask for that raise. You didn't even do good. You were 7-21. So, hey, I think you had your chance. She said she think they didn't do good trades and they put her in a position to fail. You accepted that position. You know you have no control over roster moves, trade. You can have input, but you have no control. So you accepted that. Trust me, I get it. It's a raise and all that, but just you. I say it as, take it as you got that experience now. You got that experience. You 7-21. Don't get me wrong, but you at least have that experience. So, good luck to her. Her claim and her lawsuit. It seemed like a reach to me personally. But I really wish her the best of luck with that situation. But let me know what you think. Do you think the situation, based on the evidence from the article that I just read from the Associated Press, is this legitimate untreatment, unfair pay based on race and gender in the WNBA? Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Couple more topics we want to float through real quick before we wrap up officially. And just a couple more, as a matter of fact. Caitlin Clark's shoes. This is coming from Yahoo Sports. And what has become the norm for all things Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever Indiana Fever Stars Player Edition of the Kobe 5 Protro in Fever colors, sold out in minutes. This was on previous Monday morning, June 30th, if I'm not mistaken. Less than 2 hours after the $190 sneakers went on sale at 10 a.m., flippers had already successfully sold pairs of the sneakers for as much as $374.99 on eBay. Basically doubling it, right? The Kobe 5 was originally released in 2009. Clark has been known to wear various models of Kobe's in her time, starring collegiately at Iowa and in the WNBA. Monday's release marks her first PE sneaker. Clark signed a reported $28 million endorsement deal with Nike last year, yet has to receive her own signature shoe, though it is on the way. Okay, so that's interesting. This isn't necessarily Caitlin Clark's signature shoe, but it's her team's colors spin on a shoe that she wears often, the Kobe's. So, and it's so, just look at that. It's sold out in minutes. Imagine what her signature shoe is going to do with Nike. Her own actual shoe, actual design, colorways that she approves of. That's going to be crazy. That's going to sell out instantly, and it's going to be flipped for a lot. This was just Nike kind of testing the market, if you ask me. They just want to see what kind of name, what can your name really do? Put this under her name, her team colors, and wow. So her shoe is going to go crazy when it's released. I'm not a sneakerhead, and it's making me think it's an easy come up and flip. You get a pair of the shoes, and you can easily sell them for twice as much. Or probably save them for a little bit, and then let the value go up, and then sell them for even more. So the Caitlin Clark shoes, just putting it out there. She doesn't have signature shoes yet. This is her color wave of the Kobe's, a shoe that she likes to wear. But would you wear the Caitlin Clark shoes? Would you even wear these? Are you going to cop Caitlin Clark shoes when they come out? Would you wear them at all? Real talk, though. Not a sneakerhead, but I would definitely do it. Let me know what you think, though. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Last couple of topics before we skate up out of here. Yeah, man. So EA Sports saying they're making a return. This is coming from yahoosports.com just days before its second college football title release in over a decade. EA Sports just announced it's getting back to the college basketball world too. The successful return of the NCAA college football franchise, now called EA Sports College Football, prompts calls from the sports video gaming community to bring back the college hoops franchise. However, fans of both franchises knew that the last NCAA March Madness title sold just over 150,000 copies compared to 1.5 million copies of NCAA Football 14 being sold. Blake Griffin was the last cover athlete for the series, which died in 2010. They said which died in 2010. They shouldn't have said that. Basically saying NCAA basketball, March Madness in 2010. 150 copies is crazy. Only 150,000, excuse me. 150,000 copies is crazy compared to the football version during that year, I guess. A lot has changed in the basketball video game space since then, though. EA Sports lost the NBA title war to 2K largely due to the innovations made to the My Player mode and online play, only for the victor to grow stale and leave fans wanting more. The plague of microtransactions that's taken over the sports video game genre has also hurt the NBA 2K series. Hold on real quick. Gotta call my brother back. Give me 1 second, call my brother back. Yes, sir, ski. Yeah, that's my broski on the way with my son. About to rock it out, Paul. So, EA Sports, man, they coming back with college basketball. March Madness. I had no idea the last copies that they sold only did 150,000 god dang on copies. That's crazy, bro. Compared to 1.5 million of the college version, it's kind of crazy. So, college basketball, are we really excited for it to come back? With actual NBA players' names and likeness and stuff like that. If this would be a good time to do, especially with Cooper Flag. I mean, I guess they could have Cooper Flag on it from last season. His last season, his only season at Duke. That, and make him a cover artist at that. That would make sense. Make Cooper Flag the cover artist for that. And then go into like, I think that's pretty dope. I don't know who else you would use that would actually sell the college basketball cover at this point. Cooper Flag would be the best. I mean, because he's not going to be on the NBA cover, not right now at least. So let him cover the EA March Madness or college basketball series, and I think that'd be pretty dope. But let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat, in the comments, or call into the show 313-466-4386. Last topic before we get up out of here. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Bud Crawford is going down officially September 13th on Netflix. Fam, on Netflix. Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford clash in a mega fight for boxing's unified super middleweight crown live from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. I like this because it's going to be on Netflix. I'm loving Netflix doing these fights nowadays because I don't have to pay for it. It ain't no pay-per-view. I already have a Netflix subscription. So I just log right into it. And I love it. It makes it so much easier for people like me, fans like me that want to watch boxing, want to watch these high-profile fights. But I don't want to pay all that money. $55, $75, $80. Nah, maybe if I'm doing a fight party or something like that, which I haven't done in a while, maybe so, and I can make a little bit of my bread back. But we're not doing all that. So Netflix, congratulations, having a huge fight that will be talked about on your platform. Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. I'm going for Bud. I'm going for Bud. Knockout? No. I would love to see a knockout. I would love to see a knockout. When it comes to a knockout, I don't care who knocks who out. And that's in any fight. Whether the player that I'm rooting for or going against knocks somebody out, knocks the other person out. I don't care. I would love to see a good. I ain't seen a knockout live on a fight, I want to say ever. but I'm pretty sure I might have at least seen one. But like a cold clock, me watching a knockout live on the boxing, like, and then the fight's over, like I ain't seen that, fam. I think the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, I saw that. I saw those knockouts. But I want to see one live where the fight is over. That's what I want to see. Do I think that's going to happen in this fight? No. But I love to see it, man. So let me know what you think. Who do you got? Canelo versus Crawford, September 13th in Vegas, live on Netflix. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show, 313-466-4386. Man, I wish I had more time to talk about more, but we got to get out of here. I literally just want to do a show real quick because I haven't done a show in a while. And I spent this whole holiday weekend doing other stuff, man. We got a lot going on. Big upgrades going on. And we're looking forward to it as well. Please keep sticking with us from the stands of a sports fan. Team Elite Media, kicking it with KCMC. We're going to have all the updates and news for you right here on this channel anytime we move. But just know it's going to get bigger and better, baby. I promise you that. Consistently pays off. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Tell a friend and tell a friend. We up out of here. Later.